What's going on, guys? This is Blake Phoenix. Let's check out this video from Sean Hannity and Senator Tim Scott.
Anyway, here with reaction, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. You know, I kind of get, I believe the Kamala Harris that supported students speaking their truth when they were showing support after the worst terror attack in Israel's history. I think it spoke volumes. I think actions are louder than words. She chose not to be at this joint session yesterday with the Prime Minister, who I thought gave a Churchillian speech. That to me means a lot more than words that somebody wrote for her to put out just to try to put the controversy to rest.
Well, yeah, you're going to get that a lot with the left. When they take these deep, extreme stances to pander to a certain sector of society, you're going to get that very often. Most times they just don't want to commit to anything. Like, look at the switcheroo that, you know, when it comes to the border czar. Now she has nothing to do with the border. Magically rewriting history like the Matrix.
Well, Sean, you're 100% right once again. There's no doubt that her snubbing Prime Minister Netanyahu in the most amazing speech I've heard all year long is absolutely abdication of her responsibility as vice president. But more importantly, it signals a step to the left. I didn't know that you could go further to the left than Joe Biden. But Kamala Harris never disappoints when it comes going left. She is more aggressive against Israel than Joe Biden. She's more pro-Palestinian and anti-Semitic as it relates to the wing of her party that leads the conversation. She is willing to appease those.
And, you know, as far as the whole Palestine versus Israel, I'm okay with people having varying opinions and looking at both sides. I think that's great, you know, but it's just blatant one-sidedness while trying to maintain a good face for Israel in terms of not saying too much, but saying enough and allowing enough to send a very clear message.
Those in her party. That is disgusting, devastating, and will ring hollow to those of us who know you have to be loyal to your allies so that you can be lethal to your adversaries. She is looking for power and votes, not doing the right thing. I got to say, the contrast in leadership.
And yeah, he's so right on that. Whether people would like to agree or not is one thing, but when you have your allies, there's sometimes you may have to be biased. Just like there are things that American politics is responsible for that our allies will turn a blind eye. Like, this does happen.
Listening to Prime Minister Netanyahu talk about our enemies are your enemies, and therefore your victory, our victory will be your victory. What did Kamala Harris say? Nothing, because she wasn't there. She can't stand up to students who are saying genocide, Jewish genocide. She says, as you've already said, speak your truth, speak your truth. That's a lot.
So yeah, she's going to say, speak your truth. She's going to take that, you know, hard but soft stance where it doesn't sound too offensive. It sounds something like, if you're quickly listening and not really digesting what is being said, sounds like something most people could get behind with common sense. But in reality, if you really delve deep into what that means, it's a signal to raise hell.
Yeah. John 8:31 and 32 tells us that to know the truth sets you free. To speak a lie oppresses you. There are so many people oppressed in Israel. Yes.
So she's scored to the left of Bernie Sanders. All right, we all know that. But here's my question. You know, we watched what happened in Israel on October 7th. it would have been the equivalent of 40,000 dead Americans in a day. On 9/11, we lost 2,977 and have lost many lives thereafter from 9/11 related illnesses. And 40,000 dead Americans if you extrapolate out population. And my question...
And, you know, it's telling that a lot of these people who are taking these stances that usually people before in the past wouldn't have taken is because maybe some of them weren't around during 9/11 for them to even compare the commotion it must have been in Israel. Because if you were a child or lived in New York City as a child and you were there the day 9/11 happened, which I was, you remember the commotion and how much of a big deal a terrorist attack can be. So I think it's definitely on the duty of the older people to actually show the youth and really illustrate how intense that day was.
The question is, what part of murder, rape, beheading, torture, and kidnapping do these people on the left not care about, not understand, and why wouldn't they support Israel's right to win their war against a group that has in their charter a pledge to destroy Israel? And as Prime Minister Netanyahu said, this is civilization versus barbarism. Why wouldn't Joe and Kamala support their right to win that war?
Yeah, bottom line is simply this. They want power, not to protect people. It is a very simple...
Just adding support, that cosign coming from America can send a tone that could definitely make things a little bit more easier going in the Middle East. Just the agreement. I think when they see separation or disagreement amongst allies, it can ring a bell.
Fact. We look at the October 7th tragedy. We know you have to stand on the side of justice. She chose to sit down.
Unbelievable.
Wow, powerful. She chose to sit down. I'm Blade Phoenix. Make sure you like, subscribe. Take care.
See the colors waving high.